What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict, Lord Addict here, man. Welcome to another episode of the Addict Show. We talk about the past, present, and future gaming. I got Dirt with me, man. What's going on, Dirt?
What's up, my brother?
And then we got Slow-Mo, our guest. Last week I felt like I needed to get Slow-Mo on here, man. I feel like I needed to get Slow-Mo on here. What's going on, Slow-Mo?
Yo, chilling, man. I last week I was in the chat, like I wanted to be on, so I'm glad I'm here now. You know, we can not the same conversation, but we can definitely chop it up and get into these topics. You know,
what was the topic that you wanted to speak on last week? I'm kind of curious.
I don't even remember, man. I'm old, man. I don't remember things very well. Whatever it was, I was excited. I was doing a lot of talking in the chat.
Oh man.
Yeah, so appreciate everyone coming through. Hopefully BitCloud and Forte will show up eventually. Eventually they'll be here. Let me. Oh no, Forte, he's here.
Oh man, he wearing a sleeveless shirt, man.
A sleeveless shirt. What's going on, Forte?
I don't think you can hear us.
Not
you don't look like you can hear us.
Are you there, Forte?
Yo.
There you go. All right, so now we're starting the show, man. I got a pretty good, interesting show for you guys. It's been a little bit of I wouldn't say a slow week, but considering we went from like some of the best news weeks to this week, it is a little bit of a slow week. So we're going to talk about the PlayStation VR 2. I personally believe it's killing its own vibe. You know, we got information on it's not backwards compatible, and now they're showing all this like 4K stuff in the trailer. Look, I'm not saying none of this is real, but when I see stuff like this, I say that looks expensive. Then we got GTA 6 leaks. You know, I want you guys' overall experience with that. Then we got everyone's favorite thing is gaming dying, because I see a lot of this stuff going around the especially this community where they feel like because of microtransactions, et cetera, that gaming might not necessarily be dying, but it's going in a way worse spot, especially with the rise of mobile. So I definitely want to get in on that a little bit. So got Forte here. He's on the phone, so his intro. I don't want to be too rude. You there, Forte?
I'm here. What up, though, man? How you doing?
So
how's the Lord's work, the Iron Lords, everything involved with that been treating you?
Well, ILP, for those of you that don't know, we actually launched a TikTok account, and I'm in charge of that entirely. So it's been interesting to learn another algorithm. I spent like probably 6-7 hours the other day, just researching how TikTok algorithm works, and I don't really got it down, even remotely, but I'm learning, man. I'm learning. So let's
I
go.
Definitely don't. I'll be uploading TikToks like, man, these highlights is fire. It'd be like 28 people would look at it. I'm like, what?
Well, what I've learned so far, it's more about consistency than anything. Like they want you to post more than they want you to post good content, it seems. Like, so, if you get a good clip, just post the clip. And I've noticed that like music's really important too. You want to make sure you have some popular tunes in there. So, here is the topics for today, gentlemen. Because I do have a little bit of extra stuff in there. We're going to talk about Deathloop on Xbox. That officially launched in, I think it was yesterday or today.
Yeah, sucker. Yesterday, you jive turkey.
Oh my God! So, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about 2023 and how it potentially might be one of the best years in gaming in a very long time. That depends if everything actually formally gets out.
Yeah, man. Let's say you turn your camera a little.
Yeah, that's if everything actually gets announced. How stuff always gets pushed back and stuff. We got to see exactly how that works out. So, I think first we're going to talk about the video industry dying, man. I'm kind of curious to hear you guys' opinion on this. I know that I would say that the focus of the industry has shifted away from your standard hardcore focus. It's not necessarily on that anymore. I feel like it's on a majority of stuff now. So we'll start with Forte. Forte, do you think that with the direction the industry is starting, that maybe it's going to be more casualized in general? Like, you got free to play games coming up, like hardcore. You got just microtransactions in general. You got the mobile market coming up hardcore. You got like these big, expensive press conferences spending a lot of the portion of the conference on mobile aspects, and it's not really hitting it right for people like us. What do you think, Forte?
We've been seeing this for the last half a decade already. It's been heading in that direction probably since 2013, 2014, ever since last generation started. Xbox started it with the catalyzation of trying to integrate the Xbox more into the home theater setting with the TV aspects and NFL and everything like that. Over the course of like the last 5 or 6 years, all you've seen is a move to just trying to find a way to make more money instead of really diving in on the craft of what gamers truly want when it comes to like, games in general. Now, some people are going to tell you that the games that people want are the games like Fortnite, like PUBG, like or games like or Apex Legends and stuff where you can just jump in at a free price and put as much money into it as you possibly want to. We started seeing halfway through the last generation where EA literally started press conferences talking about microtransactions and mobile games and stuff like that. So this has always been kind of the direction they're going in. The pandemic definitely didn't help that matter because more and more people that didn't even think about playing games or were gamers in a previous, part of their life came back to it. And they still don't have time to play games as much as they want to, but these games now are so tailored for you just to pick up and experience a 30-minute segment, 45-minute up to an hour segment and get your fix, and then you're out of there again. So that's the direction. They're just trying to find a way to keep you coming back daily or at least once every other week versus that go out, purchase a $60, $70 title, and then making their money that way. They're trying to find ways to say, well, that same person that bought this one item, how do we keep them spending money? And that's where you're seeing the market go. And that definitely goes towards the more casual side of the market than anything.
Yep. Oh, I think he's on the phone.
Yep.
Oh, my bad. I do agree with you. I do feel like we're seeing more of a casual audience, like more of the masses jump on than anything. Like, I don't understand how people could say that the gaming industry is dying, but then you see next year, there's a lot of games coming out next year. Like, it's just like, I think what we're getting is we're getting a lot of the delays, a lot of, buggy games because of the pandemic. And I think we're starting to see them come out slowly. Every other game's buggy, every other game's breaking. You got games getting delayed out of the physical year that they're supposed to be. And I feel like people are mistaking that for that's how all we're going to get. Like, a lot of the games that's not getting delayed are the games that's not going to take as much to actually make. So that's what you're seeing.
Well, that's also part of it. The other part is the fact that they're, in most people's eyes, the games that they prefer to play, they're not making them as consistently as they were before. Yeah. It's like, there's like, if you are a first person shooter, that's what you like to play. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, but maybe you don't like the free to play model when it comes to like the PUBGs or the battle royales and stuff. Maybe you like that grounded multiplayer, single player aspect. Those games are a dime a dozen. You pretty much got a Battlefield, you got a Call of Duty, and that's kind of it. Where it used to be more games that came out, like Homefront and stuff used to come out like that, where there was more reasons to like try out different games because you never know what's going to stick with you. Now you're starting to see less and less of that and more of the stuff that pretty much anybody can pick up and play. So that's why I think a lot of people say it's kind of dying. It's not dying as an overall industry. It's dying for a lot of people when it comes to their preferences and the things that they like to play. And I even see that at the retail side because people, like, I'll see people walk into the store and they're like, hey man, what's new that's out? I'm like, dude, what's on your library at home that you ain't already played? He was like, man, my library is so thick. I just don't know what I want to play. And they're just walking in the store trying to find something new for them. And things like, PlayStation Premium and Game Pass are really, really good avenues to kind of get you into stuff that you normally don't play. But you're starting to see a real huge shift in the way that people perceive the things that are out there. There's a lot of games to play, but a lot of people aren't like Slow Mo Backslap that tries every game, or Gaming Addict that plays every game that comes out. Those people are, you guys are a dime a dozen versus everybody else.
I agree. So Slow Mo, taking this conversation going, and I do want your perspective a little bit on the free to play, because I know like you've been very avid on like Splitgate when it was out, Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
So because I do think that has something to do with what these people in the community are saying, that they feel like gaming is going in a bad direction because of this stuff. So I'm kind of curious to your opinion on this.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people that say things like that, they are wishing for a time back when gaming was, you just bought the game and you played it until the cartridge broke or the CD broke and got scratched up or whatever, but that's it. Like, there was no patches, there was no first day zero patches to fix this, there was no updates, there was no, oh well, look, we'll get that campaign to you in 6 months, meanwhile just play in the sandbox for no reason. Like, there was none of that kind of business formats for a game to be launched. And so these people wish it was like that again. That's what they kind of feel like the industry's dying. But if you look at like statistics, the industry's not dying. It's actually, like, health-wise doing better than it's ever done before. There's more money in the gaming industry now, and there's more money going into it, and more new gamers joining it every single year. So it's like a runaway train that can't be stopped. It's not going back to the way it used to be. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get those kind of games that you may enjoy, but we do have to understand that, like, the mobile market, which is 50% of the revenue that's generated in gaming, is going to influence the way PC games are made, the way console games are made, and eventually that it will trickle in some way. So, like you mentioned, Splitgate, and I really enjoy Splitgate, but that developer is now decided to move on to a new game. Still will keep the servers for Splitgate open, but no more new content. But the way Splitgate was the business model for it is very similar to like a hybrid console, hybrid mobile format. It's a free game, like a lot of mobile games, but it's not necessarily pay to win. Whereas in mobile, it's like, hey, you got like 10 great hours in that game, and then now it's like $10 for like three more minutes or 10 more spaces or whatever the heck the game is, right? It's not like that necessarily, where Splitgate and a lot of other games that are free, they want you to spend money on cosmetics, they want you to spend money in microtransactions, loot boxes, that kind of stuff, to kind of keep the game monetized and keep it going. But that's not going to be every single game. I think sometimes we get into this, people see things they don't like and they act like that's the only thing that's out there. Like, everyone's trying to be Fortnite, everyone's trying to be Apex Legends.
I think that's the biggest issue. I think people, you got too much copycatting going on. You got too much, I deserve GTA success, but I don't have a GTA product.
Right. And you're not going to get that.
And I feel like a lot of developers and publishers put themselves, especially Square Enix, they're notorious for it. They said 10 million, that's a financial loss. What do you mean it's a financial loss? Like, I don't get that. And I feel like a lot of publishers, they constantly, there's nothing wrong with chasing the bag, but you got to chase the bag realistically. And I don't think that some of these publishers are realistically chasing the bag. They see what Fortnite's making, they see what GTA 5's making, they see what Minecraft's making, they see what Zelda made, they see how many copies these games sold, how much microtransactions is the game, and then the developer and publisher looks at this like, I could do that. No, you can't. You can't. You don't got the product to keep people going as long as it does. I'm curious what's your opinion. Let me get these two super chats real quick, and then we're going to hear the Dirt go. I have a feeling you're going to have a very interesting take on this. Flame with the $2 super chat. Gaming industry dying. I blame Halo and Game Pass. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're trolling. We're going to move past that. Caleb with the $5. K-Web with the $5 super chat. A lot of people have romanced ideals of what gaming industry and the average gamer used to be. To a point, I agree with you. I'll get to that a little bit more when it's my turn. So, Dirt, tell me, man. Tell me, is people bugging? Is gaming, quote unquote, dying?
Absolutely not. I'm going to go back to what Slow Mo said at the beginning. People just have this idea of how gaming used to be, that is going to continue to be the same way. No, we are in 2022. It's not 1996. It's not 2006. I always mention how I saw a picture of 8 people made Super Mario World for the SNES. 8 people. That was a dope game. It was really good to see only 8 people develop that game. Why I'm saying this is because we're in a different time where games are much more expensive to develop. There's so many different avenues of gaming, from mobile to console to PC to cloud. There's a lot of money out there, and like, you guys are right. There are so many copycats going on. Like, I want that same GTA success. I want that same Fortnite success. Well, in reality, we want a lot of things. That doesn't mean it's always going to happen that way, right? So I agree with you guys with what you guys are saying. It's just that the money, when they're seeing these other games, these other companies being so successful, they want that also. So they have to try their best to do that, and some of them fail. That's like any other aspects of life. If my favorite burger joint all of a sudden starts selling chicken sandwiches also, because every other restaurant is selling chicken sandwiches too, yes, they're trying to get that same success that Popeyes had or Chick-fil-A has, but it might not work. It might work, might not work. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Of course it's not dying. Like Slow Mo said, it's as successful as it has ever been. But we're not going to get those. Every game is not going to be a single player banger like there was in the 1990s. We're still going to get some, but yes, we're going to see less and less of them, unfortunately, because I like single player games. But it's all about the money. Like any other business, they're going to try to do what they can to make the most money out of their product. Sony is making live service games. Last generation people thought they would never do that or go that route, putting their games on PC and also making live service games. And here we are, right? So at the end of the day, man, no, the gaming industry is not dying. It's different. It's different than what a lot of people is used to, but of course it's not dying at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. Come to my point. Like, I think what you're seeing is not necessarily the gaming industry's dying. It's expanding. There's genres that we didn't see 10 years ago. There's different forms of genre. And now you got stuff like, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsports. Like, a lot of the time back then, some games didn't apply to you, but a lot did. But now, these publishers, they're trying to do as much as they can to take advantage of as much of the industry as possible. Right. I do think that mobile is starting to heap into the console part a lot, especially you see people going towards more of an xCloud kind of thing. So I think you'll see a lot more of that. But I just think that if you like a certain type of experience, you're not going to get that anymore. I think that there's still going to be games like that, but you're going to actually have to, pick and choose what you play. Not to mention games getting more expensive. They can't make these games in 2 years anymore.
Exactly.
So when you add on to the time frame, you're going to be waiting even longer to play some of these games. So It seems like the gaming industry is dying, but since the games that you don't like don't take a lot to make, don't take as much time to make. So you're seeing more of them than the games you want to play because your games are still in development for another year and two. That's what I believe. I think that we're in an industry now where games as a service and multiplayer focused games are king among all. Sure, people like Sony, they make very good third person games, but even them themselves are investing in 10 games as a service products. And I think they even see the error of their ways. You know what's funny? People used to talk a lot of smack about when Phil Spencer said that games like Horizon are good, they're great, but they're not the focus of the industry anymore. He never. And what's funny is people said that he was acting like third person action adventure. You know, the Sony formula was dead. He never said that. He just said the focus of the industry is the games as a service, is that type of service function. Because if that was the case, then you wouldn't see Hellblade 2 coming out. You wouldn't see these other games that they're making. Like Phil Spencer's always said that when it comes to that industry, that space, he's like, to me, he's always said, look, we're working on that, but that's not the focus, because Microsoft is taking like what we've been saying. We want everything everywhere. We want to sell you Game Pass on your PC, on your Xbox. One day they're going to try to get it on the PlayStation and Switch. They're going to try to sell it to you on the smart TVs. They try to get that app into everything. And I think
they already got it on your refrigerator.
It's you joking. You lying.
It's already on your refrigerator, man.
He's joking.
No,
I definitely agree. I think a lot of the publishers are seeing it that way. I mean, most recently, you can look at EA, who was notorious for forcing developers that had no business making multiplayer games and had no interest in it, but forcing them to do it anyway. They did it with the dev that they shut down that did Dead Space. I can't remember their name. Was it Visceral? I think. Yep. Yes, but they did it with BioWare, forcing BioWare to put multiplayer into games that are primarily single-player RPGs, and most recently, like with the success of Jedi Fallen Order, with Respawn Entertainment, they realized, like, you know, we can do both. We can have our live service content, our multiplayer content, while also having single player content that is like critically acclaimed and wins a bunch of awards and garners us a bunch of attention, because they realized like our reputation was in the gutter. It still kind of is for a lot of people, for EA that is. But like, this is the way where you can kind of like balance it. You can actually benefit both communities, and so you see them take those restrictions away from BioWare. You don't have to put multiplayer content in your games anymore. Just make whatever you want. Dead Space remake is coming out. You know, not having a bunch of microtransactions and a bunch of other crap in there. Ubisoft is starting to kind of see some of that a little bit too. You see with Assassin's Creed, they're trying to cater to both parties. Trying to cater to the people who like old school Assassin's Creed with the Red and Mirage and whatever else that Dan Allen leaked. And and then they're also doing their Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is this big massive MMO like monstrosity that I think is probably going to fail, but it's typical Ubisoft. They're going to try it anyway. But like, you can see
it seems like
that
Infinity
trying to do both.
It seems like Infinity is mainly supposed to be a hub that you access the future Assassin's Creed with. I don't think that it's supposed to be like some giant MMO thing. I think that it's supposed to be a hub that you can interact with and like load certain levels on other like gameplay mechanics of other games. Like, I feel what you're saying. We got to see a little bit more of like concept and if that's going to work or not, because I don't think anything like that. The closest thing I've seen to ever do something like that's the Master Chief Collection, and we saw how that went. So
yeah. But no, there was something. I mean,
talk about that game.
When it first came out, they were talking about MMO, but I remember speaking with someone that said that it was going that route. But who knows where it ends up going eventually, because that thing is, all that stuff was never supposed to be leaked out in the first place. Like, this is information they didn't even want to actually talk about to people outside of Mirage. But because everything got leaked, they ended up having to speak on things a little bit sooner than they wanted to. But we'll see how it all turns out. But regardless, like, my point was, like, these publishers are trying to balance things a bit more. We need single player content. We need to cater to that community that likes that kind of content. But then we also gotta be realistic in that there's younger generations of gamers that are getting into gaming every single day. And a lot of them don't care about that stuff. They care about Fortnite, Apex Legends. They care about Valorant. They care about those kind of games that have a completely different business model and format and game design. So, it is what it is.
And you know what? What you said, you have to balance like the old school gamers like us that love the old school style of games, the single player games, and also some of us love the new style, the battle royales, the games as a service like Destiny and all that stuff. So there needs to be a balance, and I think like Lord Addict said with Phil Spencer, like people thought that he was criticizing PlayStation style of games. No, he was just talking about the business in general. And the business in general, we seen it last generation, guys. We saw slowly these battle royale games, these games as a service, just started to take off. And these games are obviously profitable as hell. So I think there needs to be a balance. And I think what Sony is doing, they say, okay, we have our great single player games. We need some of our own games as a service, because they were relying on, COD and things like that. And we see what's happening now with the potential of losing Call of Duty. So they're making their own. Xbox is trying to balance that also. They're trying to do both at the same time, and they're building both. And that's just what it is. And this is the future of gaming. There's nothing wrong with it. It's different.
Yeah, when it grows, you're gonna have to accommodate people who may not like the things that you like.
Right, exactly, bro.
And that doesn't mean that like you're never going to get the games that you want. It's just that when your favorite publisher or platform decides, hey, we're going to make a free-to-play factions. We're going to take factions from the Last of Us part 1, and we're going to split that off and turn it into this huge, humongous. I don't know if it's free to play or not. We'll see. But like this huge, humongous multiplayer thing. And meanwhile, everybody's like, yeah, but where's Uncharted 5?
Right.
I think that's the biggest issue, is the willingness to do one but not the other. The willingness to do games as a service games and free to play games in general, but act like doing the other won't make you money as well. Look, sure, certain free to play things could probably buy countries with the money they've made in profits, but that doesn't mean all of them are going to. And just because you might make more money with a successful free to play model does not mean that you can't do a Last of Us, an Uncharted, and if it's done well, it's still going to make money. But the problem is people are looking at this as like, look, how much money can we realistically make? Can we make money along over a certain amount of time frame? And if it's not the latter, people get upset. Oh, why is that financially beneficial to us? So to me, I see that situations like that, I'm like, okay, so you're mad that you're not making $1 billion and not just $100 million. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sony's format isn't to have 10 to 12 successful live service games. They're being realistic here. They know all those games are not going to be successful. It's going to be some dumpster fires. It's going to be some destruction all-stars in there. It's going to be some crash and burns immediately as soon as it hits the market. What they're hoping is that one of them hit, just hits really good. Right. It becomes like an Apex Legends, where Apex Legends was like shadow launched and it just blew up. They want one of those, so that then that makes it all worth it, because the amount of money that's going to generate over a long period of time will pay for all the games that you financed and bombed and then some. Yep. And so that's the whole game plan, really.
See, but I think, well, let me interrupt you real quick just to put a little bit of context in there. I would be okay if that's the way it goes. They're doing these to put a little cushion. If something doesn't perform well, because that's how Sony used to do it. Their bigger games, they would use the cushion to do smaller games. But I feel like, especially Jim Ryan doesn't seem to be interested in that life. It's like, if it doesn't make money, I want it out. That's my fear. It's like, look, what's the point of doing these games as a service when it's just like, when you go to those quarter meetings, they're like, look, this game didn't make a whole lot of money, but we do want to do a sequel because Sea of Thieves made 100 times the amount that it was supposed to make. And then that's like the equivalent of the board saying, well, that's Sea of Thieves. Like, we want half of that money so we can reinvest the other half back into Sea of Thieves. Like, why would we give you this money to go fail again? And I think that's the biggest issue I have, is like, if they made that kind of money off free-to-play games and they see this model over here and some of these games aren't performing like they used to, let's say they make Horizon 3, like, my mindset's like, look, that game's not making what this game over here is making. So why don't you help this studio with their content? Like, that's my fear. My fear is instead of using that as a cushion, they just use that to make their stuff look better, like more profits, more gain. They trying to be more appealing to investors. That's my concern.
Yeah, man, that definitely kind of feels like, you know, the piggyback off of that. I guess it would depend on if you get that success, what do you do with it? Because like
that's where I am.
Yeah, and I don't mean to make pretend like EA is like, you know, doing everything great, but like if you look at games like Haze Light Studios, It Takes Two, that won Game of the Year last year.
Great game.
They didn't really like. I think they paid for all the costs for that, but they didn't actually take in any revenue for it. So like that's one of those like indie studios that they help out, and a lot of the games that there are non-live service games that they develop are being paid for through all the Ultimate Team microtransaction stuff that people are paying for through Madden and FIFA. So it's like they take all that billions that they're generating in revenue, and then they use that to actually fund all of their other projects, which
and if that was done across the board, I would be 100% for it. You know, like for instance, we saw, especially on PlayStation, like Days Gone, like that Division made money. So to me, I feel like if a game does well enough, it deserves a sequel. It deserves the attempt to improve on the issues that it had in the previous game and to expand on that existing foundation. And to me, it's like when especially, you know, even with Xbox, with, I know people don't like Recore, but I felt like that was an example that they could have built on. And it's like I look at these titles and I'm like, look, like if some of your other games are making vastly the majority more money, that's when I feel like the money should be shifted to experiment. Because, you know, if Sony wouldn't have gave the opportunity to make from Uncharted, The Last of Us, from Jack and Dexter to Uncharted, you don't get the landscape that we're in right now. And I feel like the willingness to take those risks is so far in between now that you don't see these jumps in ideals anymore. You can go, Sloma.
I mean,
okay, he's doing something, but
yeah, my bad. I had a phone call. Go ahead, Dirk. Dirk has something to say.
No, let's hear from Forte, man. Like he ain't said nothing, man.
Oh man, this is just craziness. But I mean, the biggest thing for me, it ultimately just comes back to what do people actually want? Like, what is it that you? It's like, because these companies are only going to make things that are good for them, and they know that people are buying. And I kind of look at it just like if you look at consoles and stuff. Like think at like Nintendo. Some people still love Nintendo. Some people moved on from Nintendo, and sooner or later, enough people are going to move away from it where it's just not going to be as sustainable as it possibly is now. Look at that the same way when you look at games and stuff. You know, more and more people are moving away from certain games that they traditionally like because, first of all, they're making less of them, or they're just growing out of them, and they're going into other games that are more pick up and go, and that's what you're starting to see now. The biggest thing was you guys said Sony is trying to they're trying to build something that can replace something that they technically don't own, and they're going the right way about it. Some people are going to say they're doing it a little late because they've been kind of living off of third party for the course of the last 10, 12 years. Same thing with Xbox. Xbox did the same thing. They were the reason that we went into the last generation, the Xbox One generation, is because they were living off third party. They were living off Call of Duty and everything. And they felt like in 2011, when Halo Reach came out, they felt like they had a big enough stake in third party where that could cover them going forward with all of their third party and second party deals and stuff. That all disappeared at the beginning of the last generation. And then all of that stuff went over to Sony. And then Sony's doing the same thing throughout the whole generation. They're living off third party. They're still living off third party for to a point. And now you're starting to see that flip come back over. But the only difference is, instead of Microsoft being a company that's just trying to acquire third parties in order to just bring them in and get benefits from them, they're taking them away and saying, we're going to dictate how these games go forward. Now Sony has to respond by trying to find a way to get extra revenue. Now, how they go about doing that is basically up in the air. Like if some of these games of the service pop off, like you said, it only really takes one. A lot of people think it's easy. Apex Legends, there was like a whole plan behind that game. The fact that they stealth launched it, they had hundreds and hundreds of streamers that were under NDA that went launch day one that talked about the game. Like we're not talking about just little streamers. We're talking about some of your biggest streamers.
Like Ninja, I think, was one of them.
Yeah, Ninja was one.
Do you?
It was just ridiculous. They were paying people millions of dollars to play that game. It was like $1 million campaign under EA to get that game's name out there. Is Sony going to be able to do something similar to that? That's the biggest thing. So I always look at this like initiative is like, yeah, it's great that they're doing it, but what's the financial backing of it going to be from the beginning in order to get it off the ground to the point where it hits critical mass like that? And maybe they get lucky and the game just happens to be really good and people just word of mouth just talk about it and it gets out there like that. And that's probably what they're hoping that happens. But ultimately, we're just seeing a seesaw. PlayStation is reacting to what Xbox is doing. Xbox reacted to PlayStation. Now PlayStation is reacting again. And the thing is, gamers are stuck in the middle because ultimately all they want to do is play games and they just want to know where those games are going to be at. But the thing is, those games are changing right in front of them. The games that they thought that they love, they don't love anymore. Shout out to the homeboy Persona. I watched his video about Call of Duty. He's a huge Call of Duty fan. And he's like hit or miss on the new. And this supposed to be like one of the best Call of Duties they probably are going to release with Modern Warfare 2 because everybody loved the original. But he's like kind of mixed on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. He kind of mixed, huh?
Yeah, he kind of mixed. I mean, he likes it, but it's like that. It's like that thing in your mind. It's like you're finding it's nostalgia. Like you like what they're doing, you like this, but you really, really don't like this. So when you have fans like that kind of think like that, and there's more people out there than you think that do think like that, that's where that problem comes into play. But ultimately, as long as games are good and games keep coming out, that's all that truly matters. But I do think when Phil Spencer said years ago that single player games and games like that are not the sustainable market, I don't think that he meant like they just can't be made. Right. It's just that those games aren't going to move the needle consistently like they used to do in the past, because you could live off of a $20 million selling game. You can live off of that back in 2020 and not 2020, like 2010, 2011, 2013. Now the stakes of these games, the amount of people that it takes to make these games
cost so much higher.
It's so much higher.
Yeah,
it's
like
just
last gen it was like 100 million, 100 to 125 million to make a game, and now it's anywhere between 150 to 200 million to make like these big AAA endeavors.
I do feel like the money's the biggest issue, and I feel like
that's all it is.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not even just that. I think there's a variety of different reasons. I think one of the reasons that we don't see certain games that we've grown up with, we were catered to see for years. Because let's be real here, so us growing with the industry, we were kind of entitled at that point because we were used to seeing these games. So when you start taking slow, because let's be real, they still make the Witchers, they still make the Fallouts, they still make the Starfields, they still make the type of experiences that we want. It's just you don't see as much, and I think that's the biggest issue. And I think you're starting to see certain people pull out of it because they can make more money in mobile. I was a huge fan of Mistwalker. They're a Japanese developing studio. The creator of Final Fantasy made that company. They made Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon, Last Story, and then they left consoles, went to mobiles, they ain't come back since. And that hurts me in the soul, man. And that's what I think it mainly is. I think that it's a combination between rehashed titles such as Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, where you're seeing these guaranteed franchises come back over and over again. Then you have on the opposite agenda where you have people not giving indies a chance that actually give good quality games because it doesn't look what the standard of a AAA product is. Guess who's eventually going to take these shoes of these bigger studios, these indie studios that grow up into AAA studios in the future? And I think that's a combination of it. I also think because it's so much easier to make a game, like, you know, for instance, like you look at something like Pokemon. Makes a lot of money. I'm sure Forte can speak on how much that game sells every year at GameStop. And then you look at something like Uncharted. Makes a lot of money. Hey, Forte, what game do you think makes more money?
They release 2 versions of Pokemon every time.
Okay,
so.
and what do you think costs less to make?
Pokemon, easily.
So the margin's just way higher.
Simple math, right?
Yeah, so it's just like, look, like, I don't think that the gaming industry is in any way, shape, or form hurting. I just think that it's more diverse. There's more stuff to play. There's more options to play. I think the reason you see a lot of free-to-play, a lot of games as a service pop up is because that is what makes more sense financially. And I think as the pandemic starts to level out, and then throughout the next 6 months to a year, you start seeing more announcements of the games that you guys want. And I'm full point on that. So let's go ahead and move on because we were on that for a lot longer than I anticipated. So let's talk about Deathloop on Xbox. Who's played it?
Me, sucker. I'm playing it right now, you jive turkey.
talking like Cole there, man.
Hey,
I played it on PC last year when it came out.
Oh, see, that's the correct answer, Slow-Mo. Dirt. Let me get these super chats real quick before they go away.
y'all freaking crazy.
I don't have a PC.
Oh, we got $2 super from Onyx. Dirt. TTS. Green Heart.
What's up, bro?
And we got a $5 super from Artemis. What's up, fellas? After the horrible NVIDIA 40 series reveal, I'm sending a public appeal to the homie Slow-Mo. Come on, homie. What's that about? What's that about? Hold on. He called him out. We need. What's that about, Slow-Mo?
Erodimus on a weekly basis keeps telling me every time he sees me on the podcast to come home. And what he means by come home is come back to Xbox, which is funny because I own an Xbox. Like I'm looking at it right now. I own the Xbox Series S.
It's a 360. Don't let him lie to you.
360.
I wish my 360 still works.
No, be a 360.
Hey, wow, why you gotta be so disrespectful, man? Anyway, look,
you got high-end products, man. You should play on a
played
X.
Wulong on my Series S yesterday. He was in the stream, so
that's probably why that game was performing bad.
Oh, because it was a series.
Because it was on your series. I was thinking about that when you was complaining about. It's like this responsiveness is trash. I was like,
I thought it ran good on my Series X. Maybe you got to get one.
No, he has an S. That's the problem.
Oh, an S.
Yeah. So look, this is what happened. Like throughout the.
I don't know
demo.
if we should keep letting you talk. You would have an S.
Wow.
It's still I'm joking, man. Continue.
No, but like it kept like this Xbox UI menu box will pop up saying something is error, something is wrong, and then it would go away, and then my controller would just like completely flip out. And the first time it happened, I literally ran off a cliff and died. It was the very first thing that happened in Wulong. I was like, well, damn. And then it kept happening during combat, and then like, stuff just wasn't working correctly. It was I mean, the game seems cool. It's just that, like, I don't know, for me, the demo just had all kinds of bugs and issues. But, I mean, it's not that big a deal. The point I'm here to make, especially considering I was playing The Division 2 on my Xbox just yesterday as well, is that I still play on Xbox around. There you go.
Oh, my God. I do want to recant something that I told Slow-Mo a couple days ago when we were talking about GPUs and what he should do. I do Slow-Mo think that 30 series card that you were talking about is a lot.
I might need to go grab that.
You might need to go ahead and grab that card, bro.
NVIDIA out here big tripping.
They out here big tripping. So listen, man, go ahead and grab that 30 series card. Find yourself a 3090. Skip those 4th gen, those 40 gens because
it's in the cart.
I take back everything I said about that. Go ahead and do your thing.
I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because I want to wait until I see what AMD's got. So
okay,
so wait, it ain't like you gonna switch to AMD, bro.
All right, so back to Deathloop.
What is that game?
So you guys, me and Slow-Mo, the only people that's actually played a good amount of this. How much have you played, Dirt?
About maybe an hour and a half.
Okay, that's a decent amount. Forte, I guess
he's
you ain't
still
played
in
nothing.
the prologue kind of like period though, like in that time period.
I'm at the part where she's finally like, what's her name, Juliana, whatever her name is.
Yeah,
she's very big on pronouncing her name correctly.
Starting to chase me now.
Yeah, she's very big on pronouncing your name correctly.
When last time you played that game, Dirt? Oh, you just played it recently, right?
Yeah, last night. Yeah, but I love Arcane. I love all of the games, Prey, Deathloop games. So I'm a fan of their games, and so far it's okay. But I'm still early, like you guys said.
So interesting.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, go Slow-Mo.
So I played the game, like I didn't finish it because, and here's why: I'm not a big Arcane fan, and look, it's one of those things where you can recognize a developer is of high quality, but it's just not for you,
right?
Because like I played Prey, I played Dishonored. I'm not really into like stealth games, so whenever like when I played Dishonored, I couldn't. Yeah,
got an S. Don't like Dishonored, man. What's going on?
And it's just like they're just not for me. Which is like all their games are first person perspective, but they don't play like a first person shooter. Like I like a first person shooter. So like
you want run and guns 24/7, don't you?
Yeah, I mean I want snappy ADS. like I didn't get that with Deathloop.
Slow-Mo's confirmed to be a bro do gamer. Continue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely got some do. Look. I like my other. Like I'm very diverse, okay, but like when it comes to my shooters, I'm dude bro all the way. Like
it is
bang headshot.
I understand.
But it's just those games don't really do that. I did think the story was interesting in Deathloop, and that's probably the best part of it is the story. Well, and I think a lot of Xbox gamers are going to enjoy playing the game if they stick with it and don't. I would say definitely stick with it to the end. But like it's a little bit different than what people expect with this.
They're definitely different. Shooter. Yeah,
and which is Arcane all the way.
Arcane is definitely different, bro. They're definitely different.
I do enjoy Arcane games. The only one I didn't really like a whole lot was Prey, and I'm not saying it was bad. It's just I couldn't really get into it too much. Yeah, one thing I will say is the only thing I don't like about Deathloop is the illusion of choice, but there's not really choice there. Like when you're playing the game, it looks like you have all these choices of how you want to do this, how you want to do that. But then when you actually find, because for those of you know, it was in the trailer. I can't help it if you guys, we look at trailers all the time. Most of you in the reaction trailers, you've seen it. So I'm sorry. Deathloop's objective in the game is to kill all. There's like 7 people, I think, and the objective is to kill them all in one loop. And they give you all these options. They're in different parts of the place, but pretty much there's only one way to kill them all in one loop. Like you have to trick people to do this. You have to. There's a lot of different. Like it's got a lot of in-depth detail. And what I like about it, what I don't like about it, is one thing is I don't like that they try to act like you give the illusion of choice, but at the same time, I like how they break it down. So you sit there, you're going through the game, you're figuring this out, you're figuring where this person's at. It's kind of like a modern Zelda Majora's Mask. That's probably the best way to give an analogy for it. Like a modern Zelda's Majora's Mask where you have to do certain things in a scenario to get them to go to another scenario. Like, let's say you do something in the morning because you want that individual to do something different at night. So you have to do something different to get them there. And that's the only thing I didn't like is just because, but Deathloop is one of their best games. It's a fantastic game. When you're playing, it's got a lot of fun. It feels like there's a lot of my peers, especially people review that don't like Deathloop, but I don't get that to this day. I don't get that. Me and ACG argue about it all the time, actually, about my love for Deathloop, and he just thinks it's like an average game, pretty much. And it's just like, I had to get myself out of the mental state that I don't like this game because it's not Dishonored 3.
Right.
And for the longest time, that's what my mindset was. This isn't Dishonored 3. Screw that game. And, ILP, thanks for the people that watch ILP. Guys were on my ass. So guess who had to review that game? I want to point this out that I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't talk down a lot of games anymore because you bully me into reviewing it. So I don't do it anymore. Because let's say that Zelda, Skyward Sword, I talked smack about that game for like a year and a half. You guys bullied me into reviewing that game. And I actually ended up liking it. But that's the point. We're not going to talk about it.
You enjoyed that piece of art, didn't you?
And you know, I feel like Deathloop, if you guys got Game Pass, go play it. You know, try it out. I think that you guys would enjoy it. I really do. I think that Deathloop, it's like Slow-Mo said, you know, I do think this is a little bit more stealth optional than previous games like Dishonored.
Yeah.
I don't know about Prey. Like, you can go in there guns blazing very easily. It's one of those games where you have to use your abilities. Like, the Visionaries, that's the people you have to kill throughout the game.
Right.
They all have powers too with you.
Just kill one. Right.
Yeah, and so what I like about it is the best thing about this game is the banter between the main character Cole and Juliana. I think that's her name. That's the best banter because at the beginning you're clueless. You don't know what's going on, and she has all the cards. She knows what's going on. She's confident. She's cocky. The whole banter is like that. But then after you start learning more stuff, she's not successful in what she's trying to do. Then it starts switching. She's the one flipping out all the time. She's the one losing her stuff all the time. And I like the character development in this game. And that's what was enough to make me overlook some of the issues. There was issues. I felt like every character, they did like the We Happy Few thing where they put masks on everyone so they didn't have to really do a lot of detail on everything.
They had to render faces. It's a way of
it's cheap.
You have limitations.
But
there's
at least
an artistic way of doing it.
They kind of acknowledge it. Cole was like, "Well, everybody wearing masks. What the hell is up with that?" I was like, okay. Well, at least they acknowledged it.
I don't think Deathloop is a roguelike. I wouldn't call it a roguelike because nothing really changes. Like, roguelike is like procedurally generated parts of the game that's constantly rotated while the core of the game is still there. Like, there's only one objective, but you use that procedurally generated content to do it. Nothing about Deathloop. Is it considered a roguelike? I don't know if it's actually considered a roguelike or not.
I don't think it is, but I kind of felt like the marketing almost kind of like tried to convince people it was, or marketers. Like, I got that implication when I first saw the game. I was just like, oh man, like I have all this freedom, and then like every time I die, it'll be like some things will be different. I can get like different things and different like tools to be able to take down these people, and that wasn't the case at all. So I don't think that lent towards my my lukewarmness with the game at all, but I think some people felt it was something that it wasn't. And typically when people jump into something and they were expecting something different, they usually don't like it, you know. So I think that's why there was a lot of disappointment. It was definitely some disappointment out there with the game.
And so we got a $10 super chat from Cobweb. Probably butchered your name. We're gonna move past that, man. You guys know what it is.
Oh,
Cal Weeb. Weed. Is that what he says? Weeb. Okay, Cal Weeb. Yep. What NVIDIA is doing with the 40 series is just outrageous. No,
egregious.
Okay, they have two 4080 SKUs, but they aren't even the same GPU die. They're selling a 40 class card as an 80 class card for $900. What's going on with this? The people talking about people really upset.
It's a 70 class card.
They out here being disgusting. That's what this is.
I'm cool with my 3060 Ti. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm cool with my
3060 Ti. Wait, hold on. What you downgraded?
What?
You got a 3080 Ti, you mean, right?
No, I have a 3060 Ti.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you talking to another addict? Are you cheating?
No. I was thinking 1080 Ti. Sorry. What'd you do with your 1080?
My brother. I gave my brother the PC.
Oh, you gave him that whole PC. Okay, got it. That's what I meant 1080. I didn't know you upgraded to a 3060.
Well, what happened is I did a live stream because for the things that don't know, Cog's responsible for all the hosting of the podcast. Unless he leaves, then because everything Cog has, I have either something on par or similar. He has a better Steam Deck than I have because he does the show more, so he's got like the 32 key one. I have the 16. So pretty much how it goes is I'm in charge of all the live reactions. So all the guests that come in, all the live reactions, like that's all me on the back end. Well, we were doing a big show last year, and my old PC was like, I'm done, and just turned off. So it was fine. It's just things needed to be replaced. Cog was like, no, Soft, send him a PC. I ain't doing this anymore. Send this man a PC. Now that's the PC I have now. I could I don't know. People in the chat, I don't know a whole lot about PCs. That's just me, and it's not nothing like against it, but I'm kind of curious if this is a good PC. So I have an AMD Ryzen 7 5800X and a GTX, or NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. Is that a good PC?
The GPU is good for 1440p resolution.
Oh, I ain't doing nothing more
gaming.
than that, man.
Yeah. How much RAM do you have?
I do need to upgrade that. I think it's 8 or 16. I do need to upgrade that.
16 seems more likely. That's like usually the standard.
I'm about to say, if you living off 8, we got a problem.
Yeah, you got.
I mean,
even I got 16.
If you had 8 gigs of RAM, you would definitely know. You would feel it in your games because
you wouldn't even be.
Well, I don't see. Here's the thing: I don't play games like that on my PC either. So.
Well, he wouldn't be able to host his stream and do anything else
right.
if he only had 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might
even I got 16 on my crappy PC.
You would open up 3 tabs on Chrome, and your whole screen would just lock up.
I know, man. My PC My PC tried to scream at me
gigs.
with.
Yes, it is 16 gigs.
Yeah, I'm about to say my PC screamed at me at 32 gigs of RAM when I got 1,000 windows open. It's like, what are you doing?
yeah. 16 is the minimum. That's a decent PC. It's a PC that you could do a lot of. You could do a lot of good gaming with that. If you chose to do so. But no, that whole situation with NVIDIA yesterday. Essentially, this is what people are upset about. They wanted to charge people more for the 4070, but they knew if they called it a 4070, which is typically around the price range of a $500 to $600 GPU, if they charge people $900, which is essentially $300 more this generation than what they charged 2 years ago for the same kind of classic card, that people would be upset. So instead, they thought that they could fool everyone into just calling it a 4080. We got 2 4080s, the way they had 2 3080s last time. But the difference between the 2 3080s last time is that they just had different memory, and that's it. It was the same die. It was the same exact card, just different memory given to it. This is a completely different. It's got less CUDA cores. It's got less everything, except maybe slightly more clock speed, and that's it. And it's just not the same card. It's definitely what would have been the 4070. But they haven't announced a 4070. All they've announced is this $1,600 4090, a $1,200 4080, and then this other 4080 that's $900. And so everyone's like, "Nah, fam, you're not scamming us. That's not really a 4080." And so that's why people are upset with NVIDIA.
Yeah, they out here getting people, man. Getting people.
Yeah.
All right, so man, you guys are really serious about this conversation. $10 super chat for Cobweb. The 4080 12 gigabyte is on the RD104, AD104. I don't know what you guys talking about.
AD104 die. And
the 104 die is
die.
usually the 70 class card. The 480 16 gig is on the one. Is on. You read this shit, slow mo. You know what this is talking about.
The 4080 16 gig is on the AD103 die. The 103 is usually the 80 class, and 4090 is AD102. They are shameless. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are shameless, and they don't care. They also just lost their best partner, EVGA, who makes GPUs. EVGA just got sick of being disrespected by NVIDIA and just said, "We're done. We don't work with them anymore." So
they're not even making cards anymore. They said, "Screw it."
I do think that's they're just negotiating. They might end up with Intel and AMD when it's all said and done, I think. But definitely they're not working with Nvidia ever again. Which is I think Nvidia is I know this is all PC talk, but it may bode well for AMD in the long run. If AMD is very aggressive with their pricing, they could end up finally stealing some market share from Nvidia. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so I mean, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. I ain't trying to keep you guys here forever, man. What we're going to talk about is next year being one of the greatest, if not the greatest, year of gaming. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I was sitting there, I was looking over the next 6 months just from today, and that's not even including like Starfield. Anything coming out the later of 2023, just like the beginning of 2023, is some of the most stacked gaming I've ever seen. We'll start with Dirt, man. What do you feel about this? And I want you to put on like what your top 3 most anticipated games in 2023 are too.
Oh man,
if you can't think of 3, just think of 1.
Well, so far it's looking stacked, right? Off the top of my head, oh. Wait a minute, like Callisto Protocol is this year, right? Yeah, that's this year. I'm sorry. I'm definitely looking forward to Starfield. Man, yeah, y'all. I don't know, man. Like, help me out with some of the games that's dropping. Oh, the Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. You know what? I'll never finish Resident Evil 4, so I'm looking forward to going through that one, playing that one. Man, we got the Dead Space remake. We got. I don't care about Zelda.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't care about nothing.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Nothing Nintendo. I don't give a damn.
Try and play that.
I don't care about Zelda, Mario, Link.
Man, don't want to play a
Diddy
game
Kong,
of the year
Kirby.
game.
I don't care about none of them. But
it's no Switch in your house.
I don't even have light switches.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's okay. No, but yeah,
the only one I care about is Fire Emblem Engage. That's all.
That looks good.
I don't care about that either. I don't care about nothing Nintendo.
Dirt is hating right now, man.
I mean, listen, bro. Let's be real. Listen, I kept it like this back when I was 12 years old. I was a Sega guy. Like, hey, I don't want to hear that Nintendo stuff over here. No, but
the age showing, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. No, but yeah, I can't think of everything. Like, I'm hyped for Redfall, of course, because I'm an Arcane fan. We got Forza, like Final Fantasy. Oh,
it's
man.
Crazy. It's absolutely
crazy, bro.
bonkers.
That's on the top of my head. What else is like? What's some other games that's?
I got a list up. So
Suicide Squad.
All right, so in January there's Forspoken and Fire Emblem Engaged and
okay,
Dead
so
Space remake.
You should have started with Fire Emblem, then went to Forspoken. You started off like really bad. I'm gonna be real with you.
Hey, look, Forspoken looks good to me. I don't know what y'all talking about. Anyway, I'm actually interested in this other game. This is kind of indie. It's Deliver Us Mars, which is like a sequel to what was that game called? Deliver Us the Moon. It was an indie that was that sequel's coming out in February. I'm hyped for that. Dead Island 2 in February, Hogwarts Legacy, Like a Dragon, Ishni, Octopath Traveler 2, Destiny's Lightfall for Forte and Addict, because they're the only ones that care about that. A Resident Evil 4 remake in March. Then this is the rest of the year. Alan Wake 2.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Arc Raiders, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Atlas Fallen, the Avatar game that Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft are doing.
That for some reason I feel like it's going to be a failure, like a straight flop. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's definitely going to suck. Good grief, there's so much here.
And that man said pick 3 games, man. Don't.
I can't do it.
No, I'm just going through the list. There's Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, Flintlock. There's just a lot of games coming out next year.
It's not realistically enough games to play. Like, it really is. Like, next year is so stacked. I don't know if you realistically play. And of course, Dawn Otaku with the smoke, $5 super chat from Dawn Otaku. Dirt's still mad that Splatoon 3 is better shooter than Halo Infinite and
Aye.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is gonna sweep 2023.
Hey yo,
Listen,
Don.
I believe that second part. That first part is all
Don-
cat.
wait. Are you talking about Splatoon not being one of the best shooters that came out? Oh, man,
That's not what he said.
Don Otaku.
What did he say?
Said
What
was
did
it
he
was
say?
a better shooter than Halo Infinite, and
It might be. Halo
You
Infinite's
can hold
not-
on.
Halo
You can
Infinite's
talk
not even
about
in the game right
hold on.
now.
You can talk about Halo content, lack of content, but you can't say that gameplay isn't solid.
I guarantee you, Splatoon got more content than Halo.
Yeah, see,
It
I just said
released.
you can say what you want to say about Halo content. I just
said
said.
talking about.
I'm
I'm
saying
talking-
Halo Infinite isn't better than Splatoon 3 right now.
Okay,
That's why
fine,
I'm telling you that.
fine.
And I'm a Halo stand.
So
No, you're
listen,
not.
brother.
No,
listen,
you're
I
not.
love
I love
that.
You-
Stop.
I'm sorry,
Literally
like
my favorite-
like you might be a
literally-
Halo stan, but I think
literally
you're
my favorite.
you
Literally
might
my
be-
favorite. That's my favorite franchise of all time, and they disappointed me to the point where I just can't play that game.
you might be a Halo stan, but your hatred for 343 is so strong
Oh,
that it
does.
overwrites everything.
Oh, it does. I can't do
Oh,
it.
you know what we didn't talk about?
Hmm.
Jedi, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Survivor. Oh man,
That's gonna be a
another-
good game too. Oh, BG
Yeah,
in the
I can't
chat,
wait for that.
Splatoon 3 is fire. You know what's
I don't
crazy?
know- I don't know if
BG.
I can believe that, man. That sounds like some cat
That's
right
that.
there. from BG.
I think his wife done got on his account and said something. Like,
Hey, well, Splatoon 3 is actually.
we sure that's you,
you
BG,
shoot
or is
paint
that
at-
or
you
is
shoot
that
paint
the
at people.
missus? Huh?
But you're shooting paint at people.
okay.
Dirt's like you shooting paint at people.
What's your point?
Are you-
My point is, you're shooting paint at people. man.
At least when I shoot somebody in Splatoon 3, the bullets go where they're supposed to go.
Bullets? What bullets?
Well, okay, at least the paint is good. Okay, at least
When I shoot people,
okay,
the
at least
correct color
at least-
falls
at
on the
least
floor. Come on, man.
At least
Stop.
at least there is
Listen
hit
to yourself,
registration.
Forte.
At least there's hit registration in the game, sir.
Hey, listen, I'm not
At least my
I'm not
melees
saying
don't whiff.
Halo doesn't have issues. Because it does. Clearly it does.
So-
but I'm not rolling.
so
I'm
BG,
not rolling with this Splatoon
BG,
3 stuff.
I need your honest opinion. Gameplay to gameplay, what's better, Splatoon or Halo Infinite? Gameplay to gameplay, not the content, the game itself, like playing the game. Oh, best multiplayer game.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
Oh,
trying to
he's
tell
with
y'all.
it. He's with it, man. I feel like he's
Okay.
being like,
That
BG,
multiplayer
blink
fire.
twice if you're in danger.
Listen, man, that multiplayer is actually really good, man. People sleeping on that Splatfest that's about to happen.
All right.
Yeah, I thought I would never hear that sentence before.
Hey, hey, yo, Forte, listen to yourself, man.
Listen, man.
You said the
Hey,
Splatfest. You
listen-
People sleeping
Hey.
on that Splatfest
Splatfest,
that's
bro.
about to happen.
Hey, yo, Forte, listen to yourself, brother. Hey, man, I'm
Yeah,
have to
see,
come.
be-
I'm gonna have to come and
be
visit you
ready
again,
for it.
brother. I'm
VG
gonna have to
ready
come and
for it,
visit you
yes,
again.
sir. Hey, but you know what? But let's be for real. This isn't just being. This isn't cap. This is just for real. 343 has let people down so much on Halo where they rather go play something like Splatoon, where you paint
So,
the ground. To
I've
make
heard
your
two
character
people
move faster.
say. I've heard three people say that. You, Don, Taco, and Flame.
Okay,
the majority of people
BG,
are
so that's
saying no.
4.
No, no.
Exactly
BG
what
just
is so
hating.
good about the gunplay in Splatoon 3? Somebody explain it to me. Like, break the gunplay down. Like
paint gunplay.
How is it good?
And you know what's
How-
funny?
how-
Ain't none
how
of them
is
gonna
that
be able to.
really good?
You know what's funny? They ain't gonna be able to answer that. They
They
gonna have some
gameplay.
generic
Oh, because
answer.
It's all cat. It's all cat.
So go
I
ahead,
want to hear a break.
Forte. Tell me
Yeah.
what makes Splatoon so fantastic, so imaginary, so amazing.
No. I just think because it does what it does what it sets out to do better than most other games decide that.
What does it
in
set
the-
out to
in
do?
The, in the lane that
Throw-
game is in a
throw paint at
competitive
people.
in a competitive environment. That game sets out to do what it does. When it comes to like movement, when it comes down to strategy and getting around the map, it actually works very, very well because not only are you painting the world to actually attack other people, you're using the paint to be able to move throughout the environment way faster than anybody else.
So
which
how
is
is-
nothing new. Because that's something they always
So,
been doing, but
hold
they
on,
refined it even more inside of the new one. And then they actually made a competitive scene in it, and the game actually is really, really good when it comes to that.
I played Splatoon 2, I think.
Okay.
Like, and I remember, like, yo, Dirt, you can literally go under the map, like
Yes.
with the paint itself. So you mean to tell me that people complain about something like where you can see through walls and stuff, but you can literally go in the floor and no one has issues?
That's
also
bias, man.
That's something that was something that was made and expired in the game from the very beginning. You've always been able to do that.
I mean, isn't that sense in Last of Us and stuff in the game too? What and people complain about
that. Talking about
right. BJ even said it. You can still see.
We're talking about paint.
Think about it. It's just like it's like if you're sitting. It's just like if you're sitting. This is not Allen Iverson talking about practice.
Hey,
sir.
we talk about paint.
We talk about paint.
It's paint, man.
Not a
paint.
Rifle. Not a rifle bullet.
But listen.
Now, someone had a good question in the chat. Is it 60 FPS?
Oh, please say it, because if it isn't, I'm roasting.
It's 60.
If it isn't, I'm roasting.
It's 60. It's 60.
It's fake 60. That's probably what it is.
God.
You
Fake
seem very
no.
With that.
I was thinking about the single player motion of it, but I think the single player is 60, but the multiplayer is definitely 60. It's definitely 60.
Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. We're gonna move on.
No, yeah. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, it is nothing wrong with Listen, the fact that the game is sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
You can only get digital copies of the game.
I'm sure it is.
It's a Nintendo game.
I'm sure it is.
You know what it is, Dirt.
No.
Forte's hiding all the copies of Splatoon in the back.
Exactly.
And he's calling the other game stops. Yo, we gotta make the illusion that this game's selling well. Put this in the back.
But look at this. But look, we were talking about this earlier. Look at the chat. It's people that's making fun of it because they just don't either understand it or they don't like it. The fact that there is so many people that actually like the game is the crazy thing. Because nobody thought Splatoon 3 was going to be this amazing thing. Everybody thought it was going to be an iteration and something a little bit better than the last one. But they actually innovated and did some stuff different that people wanted to see inside of it. And that's why a lot of people are enjoying it. And if you've never played Splatoon or you're not one of those people that's been indebted and playing that type of game, yeah, you'll probably be thinking like Dirt is right now, like, we're painting houses, man. What is this about? But it actually is a really, really fantastic game. And it's a reason that, I think this is going to be the first mainline Nintendo game where the multiplayer actually really, really functions to the point where people want to play it. And that's what's going on right now.
Okie dokie, buddy.
Yeah.
You come up to my. You know what, Dirt? You come over to the crib. Come over to the crib. We'll put it up on the 55-inch. Well, it's gonna look a little blurry because all Nintendo games look blurry at 55 inches. But we gonna put it up on the.
Don't do it, Dirt. He already talked about splatting people and stuff. You don't want to go over there and deal with any of that, man.
Don't just whatever you do, man. Whatever you do, don't go in the basement with that man.
Oh man.
Don't go in the basement with that man to play with paint. I don't think that works out well.
He already talking about. We say Splat-tacular or whatever the heck you just said, and everybody in the chat was like, "Yeah, Splat Town."
Shout out to
whatever. Something. Yeah, you don't want any of that dirt.
Yeah.
Okay,
shout out to the homeboy Donataku with the $10 super. He says Splatoon 3 gameplay is great. There is so many weapon styles and ways to play the game. Only people who never played the game hate on it, and that's #facts. And I'm trying to tell you, that's what it is. If you didn't play Splatoon, you don't understand none of the stuff that's happening. And
look, I will play Splatoon when they add like real bullets and then executions. I want to take them characters. I want to be able to kick a character in the stomach.
How you gonna execute someone that splatters in the paint? Like imagine hold on. Imagine some Mortal Kombat like finishers on these characters made out of paint where you punch them in the face and it's like their head just has a hole of paint dripping rip off their arm and beat them with the other arm.
I want to be able to sneak up behind someone else and just snap their neck like real slow, real slick, like and just watch their body.
I'm with slow-mo on that one. No,
add that kind of stuff in Splatoon. I'm there.
Listen, guys, honestly,
I'm listening.
This is all fun. We're having fun with cracking jokes. I've never played Splatoon. I don't play Nintendo games, right? But this started last week. If you guys don't know, this started last week. Don and Taku and Flame, they were just talking trash about, you know, Splatoon 3 blasting Halo 3. I mean, Halo Infinite, I'm sorry. So look, man, I don't care about Splatoon. I don't care about any Nintendo IP. I just don't. I have respect for Nintendo for what they've done for the industry. But now this is me.
I don't know.
Splatoon.
Earlier when we was talking about Nintendo games, you was definitely clowning. Do you really respect Nintendo, or are you just scared of the Nintendo fanboys if you say you do?
Man, anybody scared of no damn Nintendo fanboy? Listen.
I don't know, man. They might break your legs more than PlayStation gamers did.
No, my legs is just healing.
Dirt.
The PlayStation guys broke my legs last gen.
But
everybody's scared on damn Nintendo.
He's
running. On baby shoes.
He's running. That's why he never lets you. That's why Dirt never lets you see his house. That's why he always has the background, because he knows he's like a Nintendo dude. See my background? He gonna try to find out where I live. I'm gonna open up the door, and it's gonna be a Nintendo dude there with his Switch. He gonna beat me to death with that Switch.
Man, I might think about no Nintendo fanboy. No, I told you guys, this goes back to when I was a kid, man. When I was a kid, I was fighting that console war on the playground. I was one of the few Sega guys, because, you know, it was mostly Nintendo guys. And I was like, hey, man, anybody scared of y'all? But we got Mario. I said, I got Alice Kidd. Okay, yeah. I lost that battle. Okay, I lost that one, but, you know.
It's just, you know, we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. I feel like when it comes to 2023, I just felt, because the only reason we're moving on is because you guys completely went on a complete side tantrum of Splatoon.
That was Forte.
Kind of hijacked the conversation, but it was too fun to clown on Splatoon, so I allowed it. But, you know, I feel like we can all agree that it's going to be a good year as long as nothing gets pushed back too much. Right. I think that's the key thing.
You know what? I think we can afford a couple of those games to get pushed back. Not Xbox, because, you know, we need something from Xbox.
Yeah.
We don't need no more Xbox games pushed back. But I mean, some of the other
come out. Yeah.
So
those Xbox did come out.
Just knowing, I know this is going to be crazy to say, but just off of the stuff we know next year, do you think there's anything like definite that you would think would take Game of the Year?
I read me and Slow-Mo talked about
Zelda. It's already a wrap. Zelda is one.
Zelda, you know, and I don't even rock out with Link or Zelda or any of them broads.
So you guys don't think nothing has a chance?
No.
Yes, no, I do. Not. I do.
What do you think?
He's gonna say Starfield.
Starfield, because I'm a bot.
Cap. No.
I'm a bot, so I'm gonna say Starfield has a chance.
Starfield's gonna be there. It's gonna be on the stage.
Nominations. Right.
It's gonna be on the stage, but at the end of the day,
it's gonna be Zelda.
It's gonna be Zelda because
it probably will.
Because this is the thing with this game. All they got to do is fix the issues that Breath of the Wild 1 had, which was empty environments, make it a little bit more fuller, add some more traditional dungeons to the game outside of just the shrines. And that's really all they got to do is some people want them to fix the animations on the breaking of the weapons and stuff. I think that actually brings a little bit more character to the game and stuff. But if they can fix just the environments and add more classic dungeons, this game's going to be fire, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna come get me a Switch, man.
Ooh, you gonna play that Splatoon 3?
Hey, hold on, man. What's the trading value for this bullshit right here? I'm gonna come give me a Switch.
Man, that first of all, you should have been gay that bad.
$5.
You should have been.
So hold on, Dirt.
Is that even an HDR pass-through one, or is that just the standard one?
I think it's HDR pass-through one. I got this in 2017. Does that?
Okay. Forte, what's the trade-in, man? What's the trade-in, Forte?
I think it's like $70 on it.
That's that much.
You can barely get a Switch game with that.
Well, that's just for the headset. The Move controllers trade in separately, and
I don't have those.
Do you have, wait. So wait, do you even have it? Do you have a camera? Do you have a camera?
I do got the camera. Yeah.
Okay, the camera trades in separately too. Do you at least have the cables for that thing?
Yes, I still got the cable.
Like all the cables. You know how some people come to GameStop without cables.
I got all the cables.
Oh, I didn't know that this Xbox I was bringing in had to have an HDMI.
Like I remember correctly, you guys will take it, but you charge like a fee, don't you?
No, that's only if it's defective. They charge a fee. If it's not, then they just take it.
So you'll take something without cords?
Oh no, they don't. No, we don't take it without cords. You got to buy the cord.
So if I brought in an Xbox Series X right now, you wouldn't take it if it didn't have an HDMI cord.
I would take it, and I would tell you like, bro, you got to buy this cable, this HDMI cable for $13.
So pretty much what you would do is, hold on. I don't know GameStop. All right, so I would have to trade it in, and then I would have to buy a cord off the trade-in value, or do I have to buy it?
You have to buy it first, then trade it in.
No. You can buy it. It could be all on the same transaction. They just deduct whatever the trade-in cost. Whatever the cost of the part they need is off of it.
So pretty much it would just come off the price naturally. Like I wouldn't have to actually go out there and pick it out. Like you would just naturally come it off, and you would do it.
Yeah, I would do all that for you. You know, that's some people probably be like, "Yo, let's bring this up." I'd be like, "No, that's too much work. Let's just bring this up." Or I would tell you to go home and get it.
How much is a power cord?
$7.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, all the systems use the same power cord at this point.
Hey, look, but I just found out
why would someone trade in a system with no power cord?
Why would somebody trade in anything without all the cables? It happens every day. I had a person that came into the store the other day was like, "Hey, can I trade in this?" He wanted to trade a PlayStation 5 in, and I was sitting there like, "Where's the controller? And where's the?" He was like, "I don't have it. You don't buy just a system?" No. I was like, where did you get a system with no cables? In my mind, scenarios are kind of running at that point.
Right.
Yeah, stole it.
Yeah, he stole off somebody and didn't have time to grab the controller and the cables.
And then I told him, I said, well, I could trade it in. You just got to buy a controller, which costs like $60, and you got to buy a cable. I said, it's going to take about $100 off the price of your trade in. And he was like, so how much does it trade in for? I said, $300. He's like, so what? I get $200 in cash? I said, no, you get about $180 in cash because you got to buy all the other stuff. And he was like, okay. And he bought it.
So hold on.
He definitely stole that.
Oh yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so hold on. I'm curious on this. All right, this is fascinating to me. Like, so if I came in there, and I'm saying, man, what happens? Have you ever had to deal with like the cops and stuff from stolen merchandise? Like, do the cops even come to GameStop? Like,
yeah, they come. They'll come if someone makes
someone is an idiot if they steal stuff and do it at a GameStop. Like, because that I'm sure that GameStops have security. Yeah, I'm sure GameStop's definitely got security cameras. You know, I would take my, I'm not stealing stuff. Let me put that out right there. I take my chances. I take my chances at a pawn shop. You know, the odds of that place probably got a security camera, maybe don't. But you know that GameStop got a security camera. Like, and you know you're going to be the sore thumb sticking out when you come in there with no controller, no power cord. They'll be like, yo, someone stole my Xbox Series X. I'm wondering, have you had any trade? He's like, did they steal everything? Did they just steal the console? Yeah, man, I took that like an hour ago. Like, what is
that happens though, bro? That kind of stuff happens. I've seen it happen.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, let's move on. Let's move on with this, man. Whew. GTA 6 leaks. We got 1 hour and 28 minutes for the timestamp mafia.
Yeah, man, you gotta get them timestamps right, man.
Yeah, because they'll come after me, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be on your head, man. Yeah.
So GTA 6 leaks. What do you guys think about them, man? What's going on? Did you guys like what you seen?
Yes. Well, let me say this first, guys, before you go, because I'm not gonna be that long. I think it looks fine, right? Some people said it looks better than the Saints Row right now, right? At its current state, it looks better than Saints Row. Which is funny, but I'm a fan of the franchise. I'm a fan of the campaigns. Anyway, I don't play it online, but I think as early as that was, I thought it looks pretty good, especially in that diner scene. That one, I don't know if you guys saw that diner scene.
Were you actually
easy? I know that they're gonna capitalize the hell on that stuff,
and they should. No, but I think it looks great. I hate to hear people say, "Oh, it looks like crap." Man, the game is 2 years out. Will you stop it? And this is Rockstar. All right, this is Rockstar. You know, Rockstar has a track record. Just stop it. You know, I'm tired of seeing people, "Oh, that game looks like crap." Stop it.
Man, the game has 2 more years.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
It looked good pretty good for a game that's not releasing for at least 2 years.
Exactly.
Especially considering they do not actually like add in like all the textures and all the detail. Like they don't care about the visuals when they're trying to develop like game systems and design and balance the game. All that stuff isn't important until the end. So when people, same thing happened with Redfall when they first showed the screenshots of Redfall leaked. The people was like,
I remember,
"Oh my god, look at, is this it? Is this?" It's just like, yo, one, you weren't supposed to see that.
Right.
Two, like, go after the developer in the game if they actually show you the game and it looks like crap. They didn't show you anything. Someone stole this and leaked it. It would like
facts.
GTA.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's not supposed to be polished up and looking like the hottest trailer you ever seen. It's so many. I'm sorry to say it like this, but dummies out here in this gaming.
You're right.
That just like they don't think.
It's a lot. It's like I posted a couple days ago. It's a lot easier to get a lot of influencers and stuff to come on a podcast and talk about games than it is to play games. Like a lot of these people just don't play games. They just don't. Yeah. And then you got people like Kid Smooth that refuses to play knockout guys with me. Like he just refuses. He won't play Fortnite with me. But guess what? He will play.
He'll play Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. Man, you know what's funny? Every time this dude hits me up like, yo, make a Fallout. Kid Smooth in the chat. Yo, what's funny is I'll be asking Smooth, Fall Guys. Yeah, Fall Guys. I popped in a party 3 times yesterday. And I was like, Smooth, play Fall Guys with me. No. Play Fall Guys with me. No. And I'm sitting there looking at the stuff this man's playing. And I'm like, why can't you play Fall Guys with me? Because I'm busy.
He busy, man.
And what's funny is you know, Forte got a habit of jumping in the chat and then just disappearing for 3 hours.
Are we talking about the party?
Yeah, jumping in the party yesterday. And people say I'm guilty for that too. I digress.
You're guilty for jumping in the party and then leaving without saying anything. I'm guilty of jumping in and saying hi, then taking my headset off and zoning out on something else on my PC for 3 hours.
I feel like that's better though. Like at least I'm not in a party and people trying to talk to you.
No. If I'm not, but see, it's easy to say that, oh, he's not there. He's doing something. You, on the other hand, literally come in the party, hi everybody, and then 2 seconds later, oh, Addict leaves the party. And I'm like, what was the purpose of that?
At least I said hi. Some people don't even get that.
Well, that's true. At least you're not. Well, at least you're somewhat respectful. But at least say bye to people. Like I used to tell Slobo when Slobo used to just come and say, "Slobo, just say bye."
You know, the funny thing is, people can say what they want about Smooth. You know how he's bad at games, et cetera, et cetera. That dude plays everything. Like from the trash to the gyms to the gym trashes. Like
what is his gamer score right now?
Oh, you don't even want to look at that.
Shout out to Smooth, man.
Shout
out to Smooth.
What's funny
Smooth
is
was one of the homies out there when the like those damn opponents were trying to beat our legs in last generation. Smooth was out there fighting a good fight. Shout out to Smooth.
What's funny is Smooth's that dude that when you try to do a good month on gamer score, he's winning by like 10,000 points.
Oh, he only got 15,000 this month. Or 1,500 this month.
Oh, 1,500?
I'm about to say only 15,000. Damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, there's been time where I've seen Smooth at like 15,000, 20,000 in 1 month.
Oh yeah. That's because he literally went out there and bought the $2 games off. What's that one developer the people look up anytime that developer drops a game? They say they just search for that developer in the.
And Smooth knows. Smooth, what's that developer? We know you know. We know you know. Don't try to act like you don't know.
You literally just search that developer's name and then something new pops up. It's like $2 and you buy it. And it's
like weekly. It's like weekly.
It's literally 1,000
Easy
points in
Achievement
like 20
Studio.
minutes.
Is that the
There
name?
is-
Achievement Studio.
You know what's funny? Like my girl wanted some quick gamer score because she just started, and we just went to Smooth's gamer card. That's all we had to do. We looked
And
through
y'all
all the
found the
games,
games.
the recent
Y'all-
games he played, and if I saw 1,000, I click it and it said a minute. There was one time I literally clicked a game that he got 1,000 gamer score, and it said he played that game for a minute. It took a
Damn.
minute to get all 1,000 gamer
And
score.
what game was that?
Look,
Dude, all you gotta do is just go look
He
at
hit the
Smooth.
start button.
I don't mind a
Hit the
quick
start
1,000.
button.
And what's funny is like, it was pretty much like a East Asia soft. That's what it's
Well, the
called.
only time, yeah, exactly.
That's not the name of it.
East Asia soft.
Wait, that's
That-
the name of the,
that's
that's the
real?
name of the studio.
Oh.
I think it is.
I'm
I
about to
think
look
it
that up.
is.
Hold up.
Wow, that's real.
I think it
I thought
is.
Addict was exaggerating,
Hey,
man.
no, he really knows one. See,
I know.
it's the actual publisher. It's an actual
Yeah.
publisher.
Wow, it really is East Asia Soft publisher. Wow.
Yeah, and all those games take like 2 minutes, 20 minutes tops to get the full 1,000.
Okay, hold up. Smooth, you have completely derailed the podcast, but it's okay, man. It's okay, because we got to look at this. Like, this is crazy. Let me show you guys what this game is, what this publisher is. I got to put the actual screen. Here it is.
Whoa. Don't go to the website. Don't do it. Don't.
I haven't
don't,
clicked
don't,
transition.
Don't put that on. Don't put that on. I'm telling you, do not put their webpage on the screen. I made that mistake, and I'm never going back to that
Oh,
webpage.
look at, I don't see anything bad. Whoa.
Yeah, see, it gets
Okay. We ain't talking.
Yo.
Smooth, please. Smooth, please
I
don't
gotta
be
look at
saying.
this now. Hold on, wait. I gotta look at this now on my phone.
No, don't do it. I'm telling you, Dirt. just trust. You don't want to look at it.
Smooth. Don't be telling me you played that game I just saw.
Oh man.
Oh, say it ain't so smooth. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. There ain't really much to talk about GTA 6. We just got to see more of it. I hope that the person, I think they already caught him, didn't they? Person who did it all, I think they already caught him.
Did they?
I
caught
heard
that
the
person.
FBI was looking into it because he's actually hit a number of different companies out there. I can't remember all the companies that he's hit, but Rockstar definitely was not the first. And yeah, so the federal authorities are in on it now, so they will eventually get him because they know they have ways of doing things that aren't really much of public knowledge. So
That's crazy, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get on with the last topic, man. We're at an hour and 37 minutes. Hour and 37 minutes. I think we'll probably talk about this for 20, and then we'll be up out of here. And I'm putting the timestamps in 37 minutes. So there you guys go. No attacking me. No attacking me. So we've been seeing more PSVR 2. I'm pretty sure that I don't care about it at all. But I think, Dirt had one. So I'm assuming he gonna get it.
Ooh, I ain't getting that shit.
Yeah, he is. He gonna be right at my store. Like
I don't know.
"Hey."
I don't know because you had
Not
one.
for that five. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Blood and Truth was an amazing game on PSVR. Loved it because.
So why
I
won't
loved
you
it.
buy it for Blood and Truth 2?
Is it going? If they announce it, maybe I will. Listen,
You gonna buy this?
I was a huge The Getaway fan, right? Part 1 was awesome. Part 2 was they were developing one for Part 3, then they canceled it. I was like, damn it. I love The Getaway. So Blood and Truth was kind of like another getaway game, but it was in VR. So I loved it. But I don't think I'm gonna get PSVR 2, bro, because it's an add-on that's probably going to be $500 plus. At least $500, minimum $500.
I actually, for some
I agree.
reason, what they're saying, I'm thinking like $650. I don't know why. $650.
No way.
I don't know. Did you see the stuff that they were
Yeah,
clouting on there, man?
I did, bro. That's gonna be funny. If they charge $650 for an add-on where you need a damn PS5, first off, so it's technically an add-on. I don't know, bro.
All right,
It's
so
$500 minimum.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this minute trailer. And I think we're gonna go over one by one with this minute trailer. because I'm curious what you guys got to say. All right, so because I personally feel like when I see this, this is not cheap. Like whoever likes VR, and I know there's a lot of you, and I know a lot of people really captivate with the VR stuff. They about to get you. Let me tell you, they about to get you.
I mean, $500 isn't cheap. I do believe it's I have a Quest 2, and it's a more powerful VR headset than the Quest 2. Quest 2 just went up to like what $350 minimum for like the smallest version. I got the step up. I didn't get the smallest one, but not the smallest, but like the cheapest one. But if it went $500, it would still be more expensive than a Quest 2, yet still cheaper than say like the Valve Index, which is $1,000, and the HTC Vive, which I think is a bit old, and it probably is more powerful than that. But that Vive is again old, so I don't know. Like I think it would be weird for them to price it more than the PS5.
All right, so I got it up on the screen. Okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go frame by frame. We're gonna read all these luxurious words that they got going on here. All right. And then we're gonna respectfully guess what this sucker gonna be, because this look is spooky, man. Like as far as like how much this thing's gonna be. All right, so let's go in with this. We don't really need the sound. So obviously these controllers by themselves gonna be put in price point. These controllers look. Do you think they look quality? Do you think they look like they're gonna break after you step on them once?
They look good.
They look cool.
Yeah,
they look
I
good.
think they look cool.
I like the way they look. Stylish, you know.
Yeah, but I actually like the look of it. Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna cost individually?
These are. Hold on, now let's be honest. Let's talk about it. The controllers are coming with it.
Yes.
Not because like when I got my VR, mine didn't come with those dog crap move controllers. So damn, that's this might be. Damn. Wow.
All right. So put in the chat, and we're gonna ask both of you. What do you think these controllers are gonna cost individually? Like if you break yours, if you had a kid step on them, I have a little girl running around here all the time. $100 each?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
For a replacement.
I don't think he's lying about that.
Think about how much a DualSense costs. It was like $70, right?
Yeah.
$70-$80.
Yeah.
That's probably more advanced than a DualSense. So yeah, I'm gonna think like $100.
Ooh.
I feel like you just took your soul, Dirt.
No, I'm just thinking like all of this, if that's true, what you guys are saying, what Slow-Mo just said, that controller could possibly be $100 a piece, not together. You think a piece?
I mean, dude, you got
that's going to add on to the price.
You got to think elite controllers by themselves cost $180.
Yeah,
that's a $200 controller. People ain't averse to spending $200 on controllers.
All right, so you guys think this is $100? That's $100 right off the bat. It's not even the actual thing. Now, keep in mind, they're gonna probably take these at a loss. I do not see them making money off the VR. All right, so let's get going.
they'll in the whole package that you buy, you're gonna get it all together, and it won't be like, okay, well, we spent, this is individually, it's this, and this, so you're gonna have to spend $650, right? It'll be like you're getting it all together. It's a package, but if you gotta replace something, okay, we're gonna give you that full-on price if you had to replace like a broken controller or something.
You gotta remember the Move controllers, brand new, to replace those were $100 for the two.
All right, so someone in the chat said 150 for the pair. Do you think that's realistic?
I can see 150 for the pair.
I think that can be. I think that might be something they do. Take a little loss on accessory.
But you have to buy the pair.
Yeah, they would be bundled together.
Yeah, I can see that probably.
Because they don't sell, because they didn't sell the last set. Like they only sold it in a pair. They didn't sell them separately. Right. You could only buy them. You could only buy them secondhand by themselves.
All right, so this the actual part that looks like an Oculus. What's that gonna be? How much you think that gonna be, chat? How much you think that gonna be, guys? It's big, and we're obviously okay. Hold on that, because we got to go through the features that this unit gives you. All right, so obviously you get the controller and the actual head unit. It's looking like, they're going through a lot of graphics with this. What's funny is if you look on here, it says at the bottom, not actual gameplay. It's different doing it on like regular games, but they're doing it on a VR and putting it at the bottom. They're making this look all pretty. And then they're like, okay, for legal purposes, let's put not actual gameplay. It's like, that's the whole point of this experience.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
All right, 4K HDR display.
Listen, man, you know how much does the index cost? $1,000?
Yeah.
4K HDR display.
It has better resolution than the Valve Index.
And the index costs $1,000. I don't think PlayStation is going to charge somebody $1,000.
No, they're not. They're not.
Consists of two 20 by 24 OLED displays. So that's where each eyeball.
But to also to keep it in perspective, even though the Valve Index is $1,000 VR headset, the Quest 2 has higher resolution than the Valve Index, and that's 350 something. So
350. It's just
it's all about like the full package of quality, and I mean it's definitely PSVR 2.
Well, yeah, the index, all the parts you get with the index is like incredible. Like nothing's cheap in that thing. Everything's made of metal, so you're paying for the build quality. Also, when it comes to the index. And the index has been out for quite a while now, so you expect newer stuff to be probably cheaper. Valve just charges $1,000 for it because they know they can charge $1,000 for it and people will buy it. Plus, it's only for PC. But yeah, this thing is still going to probably cost $500, at least $500.
Hey,
it's $3. You got the last one was $350.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that because I had got mine on sale. There was some type of GameStop sale over the holidays and 2017.
Yeah, $299 was the sale.
I got that. Yeah, I got it for $299. But the regular price was what? $350?
Well, $399. Then they dropped it $50. So it's $350 now.
Yeah, so that one was $400. Yeah, it's definitely. I think minimum.
So
that was the bundle with the headset, the cameras, and everything.
Yeah. Let's finish these keywords they love throwing out here. It's pretty cool, but they're using the actual, developers. I actually think this is the wrong way. I think that, they might have had something similar that was the PSP area, where it's like, I personally feel like to make these type of games successful, you need to make games that make sense to these type of games in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you make a handheld, you kind of want to stick to games that are good on handheld, that make sense playing on the go. Like sports games, Pokemon, that's just me personally. I feel like,
yes, sir. Splatoon.
All right, so hold on. Let's keep going. Okay, eye tracking. Now I don't know how advanced this eye tracking is, but it looks pretty advanced.
Oh man, can't nobody.
Well, really... I mean, the Quest 2 has eye tracking.
So. Yeah. Okay, so, but the Quest 2, they just raised it $100 too. It's $399.
$499 if you want the big boy.
All right, so now I don't even foveated rendering. What is that?
Let me ask you this.
Foveated rendering? Is that what this called?
Yeah. What is that? Does anyone know?
No.
Nah. I heard someone explain it once before, and I didn't forgot. So sorry.
You think they're throwing out words that just look nice?
No. I mean, it's definitely.
It's definitely a word.
They wouldn't like say it's in there. It wasn't in there. I just looked it up. It's eye
someone
tracking.
said think VRS.
It's a rendering technique.
Field of view.
Eye tracking.
Maybe like a form of FOS. I don't know how to.
I got it. Okay. So this is what it does. So when let's say you got the headset on and you're looking around in the world. Everything that's in your peripheral vision is like reduced image quality to allow more of the image that you're looking at to actually have higher quality and sharper visuals and stuff.
You know what that makes me feel? That sounds expensive, but we're gonna keep going.
That sounds expensive.
Focus on vivid detail. That can mean a variety of things. It's not really too much on that. 110 field of view. Didn't they just have some feature revolved around this, and now they're like even specifically saying it? So that kind of feels like you already did it in like the technical word. So why are you re-promoting it as like a casual word? Does that make sense, Slow-Mo?
I think they're doing it just for the simple fact because they're
padding the promotion.
That too, but that field of view would actually help with motion sickness too, because if you're pulled back further from the actual screen, that was the biggest thing about the last one with the field of view being like, I think it was like 80 something. You were so close to everything felt like it was moving faster than it need to in front of you, and that's what really gave people issues. This will pull it back further, so you on top of the faster frame rate that you're getting per eye, and the fact that the field of view is pulled back more, you'll be able to deal with it a little bit better.
Pretty much what you're saying is like the actual, there'll be like complete like looking around motion. Is that what they're saying? Okay,
it'll be wider compared to what it used to be.
All right, so here's where things get nice and spicy. Finger touch detection, which that's not too big. I'm pretty sure that the Oculus has that as well. Where it gets interesting is when they go into stuff that's in the DualSense here in a second. Tempest 3D audio tech. That's cool for immersion. But once again, hey, Dart, what does that sound?
Expensive.
It sounds expensive.
I got you, Dirt. I got you, Dirt. I got you.
Thank you, brother.
It's extra. If it's $15 extra in the controller, it's probably $30 extra in the headset.
We got a member chat for 15 months. Stop stitching, Forte. You know, ain't here for stitching in this place, man. Okay, we're gonna keep going with that. And what's funny is they keep using the same game to promote everything, except for
because Addict. I don't know if you saw what Yoshida said, because they ain't gonna have nothing but indies on it.
That's
Did
true.
you see what Yoshida said?
Creates realistic sound scrapes. Okay, a headset feedback. What is this? I don't know what this is.
It's gonna vibrate.
It's gonna vibrate. Okay.
It's gonna vibrate.
So it's gonna like vibrate your forehead.
It's gonna get your damn headache. That's what it's gonna do.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't want them to vibrate my forehead.
Exactly, bro.
If that's the only haptics you can give me, I'll pass. I'm good.
No. Then the controller has a haptic feedback.
Oof, that's gonna be
the aim is going to be rough. I already kind of feel it's kind of rough to aim with like the Quest 2 controllers already. Imagine you adding like all this haptic feedback. I'm trying to aim already messing everything up, man. That'd be kind of rough.
Look at the diagram they give for like the muscles on your higher up on your arm. Like when he actually clicks the feedback, it's like it's destroying it. It's like, that don't sound very appealing, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is the new Walking Dead game, which is already on Quest. It's nothing, spectacular, but this is a good game. People love this game. Responds to your actions, and then they have adaptive triggers. Hey, Dart, what does that sound like?
Sound like it's something expensive to me.
For tension you can feel. It's just crazy, man. And I think that's the whole trailer. All right, so like the game, I have it. That's what's up, Sinister. So let's go over here. Everything. Chat. Let's put a number on the actual helmet, the mask, without anything extra. For instance, if I walked into GameStop and tried to sell this with no wires, what's Forte gonna make me put on top of this that I'm gonna get? So someone says $600. You think this thing's gonna be $600? Nah. Okay, so Forte, what you think? Man. Just the helmet's gonna cost?
$450.
$450. Oh, that
$450 with everything.
Dirt.
I agree with Forte.
I think it's gonna be right in the middle.
$450.
I think it's gonna be right in the middle of the digital console and right underneath the physical console.
Slow-mo.
They're not gonna charge
just the helmet though, right?
Yeah, just the helmet.
The whole thing.
I think they're not gonna sell just the helmet. It's gonna be the whole thing.
No, I'm just saying, how much is the helmet? How much is the helmet?
What you
We're
mean?
we're about to go the whole thing. Like if
They're not going to sell it separately.
Obviously, they're not going to sell it separate.
If they just
We're talking about a scenario where the thief comes into your GameStop.
We're not talking about the thief scenario. I want to know what you guys think individually what these things are going to cost. Like
what they cost them. I'm gonna say 300. 300 on the
That's what I think too. 300.
Yeah,
I think 300.
That's what I say. The helmet's 300. The controllers are
okay
150.
So you're saying 450 for the actual unit, like the whole thing.
You got to remember you got the camera too.
I'm thinking this thing's 6. I'm thinking this thing's 6.
I just thought about the camera. You got to factor in.
I didn't think about the camera either.
The camera's $60.
This thing is 6.
This thing
all
might
day
be
long.
$550, man.
I
don't think they're gonna do 6.
6.
I don't think I think they'll do 5. I think they'll
chat. Put it in there.
5.
How much you think this thing's gonna cost? Like the whole bangish, man. The whole shebang.
I'm starting to think that
Jim
Ryan raised the price of the
it's
PS5.
It's gonna be $59.99. That's what it's gonna be.
Just so the VR can be underneath it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be $599.99. That's what this thing's about to be. $599.99.
I'm telling you.
All right. I gotta get up out here. Go get my kids from getting.
All right, we're about to close out anyway. So where can they find you, Forte?
Man, you can find me in Slow-Mo's backslap his backslap. You can find me in Slow-Mo's backpack on DPS Podcast every Thursday night, 9 p.m. It would actually be on his channel this week coming up. It's going to be a great time. But for myself, Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, and PlayStation. If you love that Destiny content, come through. Your boy's been dropping videos weekly on it.
He just dropped a video.
Great time. Yeah, I just dropped one today. Yeah. But definitely come through, check it out. And other than that, man, have a great week. Enjoy your games and enjoy that Splatoon 3. It's awesome.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, man, cut his mic off, Addict.
He's already gone, man. I can't cut his mic off. He's already gone.
I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later.
Man. The damage has been done. Like I can't unspeak it.
I see that he's still talking.
I'm a squid kid now.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, man, listen to yourself, man.
Slow-mo, man. What's going on? What's popping?
Hey man, nothing much, man. I appreciate the invite. I'm glad we were able this time to get Forte's behind in here too. But like he said, definitely check us out tomorrow. Damage Per Second podcast on my YouTube channel, Slow-Mo Backslap at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have as usual. But we might have a little special guest coming in with us to kind of discuss the whole GTA situation. And, maybe a developer that may have some not inside information in regards to that, but knowledge that us normal gamers wouldn't really have in regards to how these things happen and how damaging a leak like that can be. But again, great chat.
It's that dude on Twitter, isn't it?
Usual. Maybe. We'll see. But no, come on through and as usual, enjoy your games and have a great night.
And what you doing, Dirt? What is the community of Dirt, man? What's going on with you guys?
Hey man, right now I'm just kind of just playing games at the moment. Check out last Monday's episode of WBG. We had a great time. I'll leave the link in the chat. We had a great time. We was talking a lot of trash. Just had a fun show, man. So check it out when you guys get the chance. And that's about it, brother. I'm hoping to drop some type of content within the next couple of days. But I need something to talk about that interests me. I'm tired of talking about crying Jim Ryan. So
Jim Ryan. He ain't crying that much, man. You gotta spam the chat. You can't put it in there once.
Yeah. I'm about.
You gotta spam it, man. You gotta spam it. Like I said, man, go to both of these people's podcasts, Slow-Mo and Forte. If you guys ever gonna make an actual? I know you made the channel. Why isn't the podcast on the channel yet?
Because we already kind of got people invested with channel memberships and everything, and so what we're doing is that we're gonna
you're making it a clip channel. It looks like.
Well, more. It's gonna be more than that because we're gonna go live on it when we play games together too. It's just getting Forte to actually sit down and play a game. Sometimes it's a little difficult. But no, I mean we'll be doing live content on it and other uploaded content that's just not clips from the podcast that's going towards it. So you just look out for all that. Force was supposed to already drop a video this week. He didn't, but yeah.
Ooh,
Anyway,
someone ain't doing his job.
You know, I'm just saying. Look, it is what it is. But no, look. But we check out that link to the Damage Per Second podcast link. I'll actually find it in a second.
Yeah, you might want to actually put it in the chat.
Yeah. I'll get it up there. But
whose channel is it on again this week?
My channel.
Okay, yeah. Spam your channel in there. I don't know. They play musical podcasts. So I don't know why they do it, but they do it. It's on one channel one week and the next channel the next.
Follow both of them.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the only way you're gonna keep up to date on
hit the
their
bell
stuff.
on both of them. Hit the bell on both of them.
If you pop up on one channel one week and they ain't live, they're pretty consistent. I don't think I've really seen them miss too many shows. Chances are you're on the wrong channel for the week.
I think we've only missed 1 week since we started doing the show. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. That's like, it's all about
knock on wood.
Yeah, it's like when I started WBG in February of 2020, I haven't missed one. So even when I had COVID, I was stuck in the basement anyway. I said,
"Hey, you was doing stuff on COVID,
right?"
Yeah, huh?
You was doing your podcast on having COVID?
Yeah, I was stuck in the basement anyway. I might as well do it because my PC and stuff is down here. So I said, hey, I might as well do it. Because I had COVID, but at that time I was vaccinated. I mean, I was fully vaccinated, but it's still I still had it.
You had
my symptoms wasn't
minor symptoms. Yeah. You just felt like crap, but it's it's the only thing. I feel that.
I'm right here. Might as well do it.
All right, so
yeah, I was quarantined when I had COVID in my basement as well for like a full week, but I only really felt the effects of COVID for like 2 days before I was diagnosed and then 2 days after. So
really?
Yeah, it was like 5 days of me just sitting in the basement playing video games.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And watching 080 movies. That's why I play video games, watching 080 movies.
Yeah, as like I said, I appreciate everyone for coming through. We had up to like 320 or something like that in the threes. That's all I know is in the threes. Definitely hit that like button, man. I don't even know what it is at the moment. I'm not on the screen. But you guys come through every week, man. I feel like Addict Show grows weekly. I really appreciate all the support you guys do. We will most likely be doing a community, an ILP community day this Saturday. I did want to do Fortnite as part of the community thing, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to. You have to get approved to like a special program to be able to do that, and it's weird because I still can't get into it. Like, I don't know. It's weird how they do things. It's shut down right now, so you can't even apply. Like, I don't know, but we'll figure something out. There is a game that is coming out. It's called like it's like a pirate game that we played at PAX. I did send off an email to try to get me like 10 codes so we can all play it. Whoever wants to show up. It just depends if that happens. We're gonna have fun regardless. Even if we have to play Halo and its glitchy self, we're gonna have fun regardless. But I appreciate everyone coming through.
Play Splatoon 3. That's what you said.
We are not playing Splatoon 3. I don't know, but we have that wrestling game, whatever those things are called.
Which one?
I don't know. The one that just came out.
WWE 2K22.
Rumbleverse.
Oh, the Rumbleverse one.
There's a Rumble.
Like
what
the Battle Royal.
No,
it's like a
Melee.
wrestling. It's weird. It's like an arcadey wrestling game, but it's like mixed with a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. That's why we said wrestling. It's the only wrestling game I've heard of that's come out recently.
It's a 2K game. It's a 2K game.
Oh, it might.
Yeah, you're talking about WWE
2K22.
Yeah,
it's a 2K game. So we might play that. I don't know. I'm being told that people don't like the previous Call of Duty. The beta that's out, and I think that's out during that time too. But I don't even know if you could partner up with people playing that game. I'm not quite sure. Not exactly qualified to do that stuff, but and you ain't never gonna catch me on Call of Duty anyway. So I appreciate everyone coming through, and we'll be back next week. I do plan on doing a little bit better when it comes to getting newer entities on the podcast. I want to really expand on that. I've reached out to like Colin Moriarty. I've reached out to him. Jeff Grubb's going to come on eventually. Jez, get a little bit of people of everyone. I know people in the channel don't like Colin. I get you. I feel you, but I don't care. I want different perspectives on the show. If you don't appreciate the man for his political or gaming opinions, that is your opinion. That's your right to have that opinion. But we won't come in here and dictate how I run my show. And that's just a fair warning, because I know some of you like that. I'm not saying everyone. I'm not even saying you guys are in the chat. I'm just saying some of you real extra on trying to demand who I have and who I don't have on the show. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you start seeing some of these individuals come on the show, just neither watch the show or come next week, man. Because you don't got to watch every show. If you don't like the content that's going on currently, you can come back the week after. I feel you. Sometimes there'll be people on podcasts, and I'm sure everyone here on this panel can recognize that sometimes you'll have people that you don't really mess with on a podcast, and you like, I see you next week. Like it's not a big deal, man. I ain't gonna get upset with no one that doesn't want to watch a podcast because someone they don't like's on it. Because sometimes people, if you don't really generally don't like someone, sometimes that person, just having that person will ruin the mood, and I get that. Yeah, just skip the week, man. I appreciate everyone coming through. We will see you next week. And until next week, this is Gaming Addicts, Slow-Mo Backslabs, and Dirt Griggity, and Forte's gone. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over there to Fame's podcast. Tell them over there. Tell them the Addict sent you. Addict Show sent you guys. It's like I said, I appreciate everything you guys do for us. And until next week, we're out.